Hey guys, it's Punchy, and I've been doing a little bit of trolling. In the world of Deepwoken, I've obtained the Big Iron, and I've been playing some insane mind games in PvP to test the limits of what's truly possible. I was out patrolling the Star-Swept Valley, dissatisfied and bored of the Deepwoken gun experience. Would anything change, or would my favorite weapon continue to bounce between being unplayable or uncounterable? As soon as my sandy hit its limit, I came across a stranger with a Big Iron on his hip. He looked at me and said, "Sorry you believe in balance. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start." A few days later, I woke up with a giant revolver in my hand and a hole in my head. It was time to get started. If you couldn't tell, I'm a fan of Fallout New Vegas, and if you know the game, the Big Iron is a large part of the New Vegas experience. It's an iconic song that plays on the in-game radio and talks about a man with a giant revolver, the Big Iron. I'm a self-labeled Deepwoken gun enthusiast, but I wanted to try something innovative that was actually fun to do. I did my best to recreate the New California Republic or NCR Ranger uniform from New Vegas. You can dye Pathfinder Elites brown, and this works perfectly. With that set up, I was now ready to embrace the insanity and obtain the Big Iron. For this weapon, I decided to use a 3-star damage revolver with, of course, metal. I mean, you gotta pick this enchant for the Big Iron, it just makes sense. This time I'm using a single revolver instead of 2. I know you're looking at me weird and calling me crazy, and you're right about this. Nobody uses a single gun effectively. It's the Big Iron, not the Big Irons, so I have to use one. But take a look at this damage. Single shots, uppercut combos, critical attacks, and the rest do crazy damage, and I'll show you why. It's a very unconventional build that is extremely far from meta, but that's what I'm all about. The basic revolver shoots pretty fast, and people are not familiar with its wind-up and attack pattern. Everybody is accustomed to the meta of dual guns, and it's a little bit weird to fight a single revolver. Slap on a heavy hands ring, and now we're shooting a bit slower. It's not crazy, but the difference is noticeable. It's quite hard to parry, and with this ring, we deal bonus posture damage. But now, using the revolver with a heavy hands ring and umbral bullets, we shoot ridiculously slow. It's about 20 or 30% slower firing speed, but we get an increase of 20% or 30% damage to our bullets. Now it's really hard to parry, and we're cooking. The entire point of this build is dealing extreme damage and making our enemy angry. How could you lose to a single gun? Like, it's not possible. For this reason, I'm using quite a few multipliers and talents on my weapon. Of course, the single revolver shoots slowly with a larger pause. We can decrease our swing speed further with the umber bullets and heavy hands ring. At this point, we're dealing some pretty decent posture damage, so why not slap on some ardor? Since it's harder to parry, players will block instead and absorb increased damage on their block. Currently, I deal extra damage with a few different talents and equipment. The Maestro and Rosen's ring grant us bonus damage from our agility and intelligence. It's a flat increase and not a bad pick. From here, I'm a risk taker, so I always use the Ishin's ring. Every single hit deals 1.2 times extra damage, while I'm 1.25 times more vulnerable to getting hurt. I understand my build's capability, and I do have some healing, so it's okay for me to get hurt. After that, I'm using Overflowing Dam for 15% more damage with the full ether bar and Lose Your Mind for insane DPS output when I'm crazy. I mean, after all, I did get shot in the head. The final positive talent that increases our crazy damage was the Armor Piercing card, which says my bullets ignore 25% blunt armor. It's good, and it's about increasing our damage, so why not pick it? Earlier on, I showed off my full capability with the metal enchant, and the Big Iron needs this to truly shine. The armor drain of this weapon enchant scales off of damage dealt, so the more damage we deal, the easier it is to strip armor. It's very fun to remove enemy resistance and take them down during those extended fights. With our increased damage output paired with our decreased swing speed, I have a lot of fun messing around in PvP against meta players. Since we have a ton of weird abilities and slower shot speed, players will mess up, and when they do, we go crazy. People get angry when they lose to this build because this is not something you see, well, ever. That's about all for now, but I really wanted to show off the capability with umbral bullets and a weird playstyle. Tell me down below if you want to see a full showcase on my Big Iron build. I hope you try it out for yourself and take on the competition with a single revolver by your side. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one.